So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Unhooked podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Lipkowitz. Excited to be with you here today for another solo episode. The last few episodes have been some guest interviews, but I'm back at it alone today in the studio, this time in the wonderful studio of my room in Bali. Back here for a few months and just really enjoying life. Things out here are so attuned to my lifestyle in the sense that I get to run around and have fun. I'm playing tons of paddle, going to the gym, eating good food, being in the sunshine, and connecting with really good people. It's one of the things I love most about Bali is that I get to be surrounded by really inspiring people, people who are living their truth, following their dreams, and connecting to their purpose. And I really love just being around that energy. It's so inspiring and uplifting to surround yourself with good people. So I'm here for the next few months, and then in mid-November, I'm heading off to Cape Town. So those are just some life updates from me. I want to mention also another update of something coming up, which is a little teaser for the fact that I will be reopening the doors to my signature group coaching program, Unhooked, in a few weeks. This is something that I've done a couple times in the past, a group coaching program around helping you break free from porn. And I am deciding to reopen the doors to that program. So I just wanted to give you a little heads up to know that it's coming. And what I want you to do is, if you are interested in this program, because spots are going to be limited, what I want you to do is send me a DM. So go to Instagram, find my profile, and send me a DM and just let me know if you are interested in the group coaching program. If you do this, then I will make sure to put you on the priority waitlist so that when we open the doors, you will get first access. So if you're interested, go ahead, send me a DM and just let me know and say you're interested in the program. And then details about that will be following. So what I want to talk about today is a practice that is very helpful in dealing with any kind of difficulty, discomfort, in particular the difficulties or discomforts of dealing with cravings or urges in the moment. This is a practice that many of you will have heard about. Some of you will have practiced. And this is a practice called RAIN. RAIN is an acronym for a particular set of things to do in the moment of difficulty. It's a kind of a meditation, but it's meant to be done in the moment. It's more of an integrated practice rather than, it's not a 5-minute or 10-minute practice. It's in the moment of a moment of distress or difficulty. You can implement this RAIN practice. A little background about RAIN. RAIN was actually developed by a teacher named Michelle McDonald. She's been teaching insight meditation or Vipassana meditation for over 4 decades now. So she's an old school, the original gangster teacher who developed this acronym of RAIN. It was later popularized by the teachings of Tara Brach, who is a very famous meditation teacher. She's the author of Radical Acceptance, and she helped bring this practice to the mainstream. So I want to talk a little bit about what this RAIN practice is. So it stands for these 4 different steps. The first is, the R stands for recognize. The A stands for accept or allow. The I stands for investigate. And the N stands for non-identification or nurturing. So we'll talk a little bit about these 2 options at the end. And again, what you do is, in the moment of an intense craving, a strong urge, a sadness, an anxiety, whatever it is that's coming up for you in that moment, to go through these 4 steps. So I'm going to talk through each of the steps individually, and then we'll see how to put it all together. So the first step, to recognize. This is really about bringing mindfulness to the present moment and simply noticing what's actually going on. So for example, if I'm feeling a strong urge to look at porn, if I'm feeling a craving to act out, can I recognize what's happening? Can I label it or identify it? So I might be there, and when I notice this urge, I might just say, oh, okay, an urge is arising, or craving, or desire, whatever it is, I I give it a label, I give it a name. I'm recognizing it and identifying it. This is that practice of mindful awareness, noticing what's happening in the moment. So that's the first step, simply to recognize what's happening. This is important because a lot of addiction happens on the subconscious or unconscious level. A lot of times with addiction, people aren't even aware that they're acting out or that they're reaching for their phone or reaching for the candy bar. Whatever it is, it's a subconscious thing. So here we're bringing it into the light. We're bringing awareness to what's happening. The second step is accept or allow. And this is about, it's beyond just noticing what's there. It's about your relationship to what's happening. And can you orient yourself to this space of acceptance or allowing what's happening rather than pushing it away or judging it or suppressing it? So with an urge or a craving, what this might look like is first I notice the urge. Oh, okay. An urge is here, a craving is here. In this next step, what we're doing is allowing it to be there, accepting it, saying it's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with this feeling. I don't need to suppress it or push it away. And understand there's a difference here. We're not condoning it or giving into it. We're not feeding the fire and saying, okay, well, I need to now act out on it. But you're just giving space for that emotion to be there. Giving space for the urge, giving space for the desire and saying, oh, okay, craving is here and that's okay. I don't need to push this away. I don't need to suppress it. And this is very important because it avoids the trap of suppression and amplification. Because what we know is that what we resist persists. If you try to suppress an emotion, suppress an urge, what happens is it grows stronger. So time and time again, the science has shown that one of the most skillful ways to work with cravings is mindfulness. Really tuning in and making space for this emotion rather than trying to suppress it or push it down. So that is the second step. The third step is to investigate. And this is to get really curious. What does this feel like in your body? What does craving feel like? Are your shoulders tight and clenched? Are your fingers clenching? Is your heart beating faster? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel light? Just to investigate what's going on in the body. What this does is it gives you a little bit of space between yourself and this strong emotion, which might otherwise hijack your brain and make you do things you're not proud of. But by investigating where it gives us that space, it's like a pattern disruptor, a disconnect. And so we pause, we investigate what's going on in the body. Oh, okay. I'm feeling hot, I'm feeling tense, I'm feeling tight, my heart's beating. It gives you that space. Now, the fourth step, there's two options. The original N, the last letter in the acronym, was non-identification. Tara Brach has changed it a bit and changed it to nurturing. And so we'll talk about both of those and what they do. But the non-identification, what this is to recognize that you are not this emotion. So if lust is arising, a lot of times if we're not aware, we might identify with the lust. Oh no, lust is arising and we become the lust. And we almost think it's who we are. But instead, this non-identification is just to recognize this is an emotion that's passing through me. It's not who I am. It's a temporary, fleeting experience that is impermanent. One of the things that I like to tell my clients here is that every emotion only lasts 90 seconds unless you feed it. So if you can simply be there and witness this emotion and not grasp onto it, eventually the emotion will pass. So that's the non-identification. The other thing you can do with it is this nurturing step. And particularly if this is a difficult emotion, craving, aversion, sadness, anger, anxiety, whatever it is, to send yourself some compassion in this moment. To put a hand on your heart and say, wow, this is a difficult experience. This is a difficult emotion. This is painful. And I care about myself in this moment. The same way you would treat a friend who's in pain and just say, man, I'm here for you. I know this is a difficult thing that you're going through. Can you give yourself that same kind of compassion, that same kind of nurturing? So those are the 4 steps of RAIN. Again, you can do them in any moment. Recognize, accept, investigate, and non-identify or nurture. The choice is up to you. You can do both. You can say, oh, this is not me. This is a passing emotion, and then nurture it. So this is how we do it. And again, in any moment, just drop into the space. Some tips on how to do this. If it's helpful for you, you can write this acronym down, put it on a Post-it note, a sticky note, and put it in different places to remind yourself to practice. I think a really good way of practicing this is to give yourself a challenge for 1 week to implement it as many times as possible. Whenever you're feeling an urge to do something that is unskillful, that is not in alignment with your highest intentions, your highest self, to do this practice. Okay, I'm recognizing a strong emotion. I'm accepting it, allowing it, not pushing it away. I'm investigating how it feels in the body. And then I'm not identifying it with it, but I'm nurturing it. So that's a little bit about how you can do it. And again, this is so helpful, particularly for dealing with urges around porn addiction or compulsive behaviors, things that are just this second nature, compulsive, want to act out. This gives you a pattern disruptor. One of the things that some of my clients find helpful for adding on top of this is when you notice something like lust and when you can recognize it and allow it, to ask, what is it needing in that moment? If lust is passing through you, oh, okay, lust is here. I'm not going to push it away. It's here right now, and that's okay. I recognize and investigate how it feels in my body. What does this actually need in this moment? And maybe it just needs, like, what is really being needed by you is a moment of connection or a moment of rest. So just to ask you, like, what do you need in this moment? That can be another helpful step for dealing with strong emotions or difficulties. So that is a short little masterclass, a mini masterclass on the RAIN technique, the RAIN meditation. What I would love to hear from you is, how is that going for you? Have you tried it out? What are the questions you have about it? Is it working for you? Are there any difficulties you're having with it? So go ahead and send me a message. I would love to hear from you. Just log on to Instagram, or you can send me an email or get in touch with me through my contact page online. There are many ways to reach out to me. I would love to hear from you about how this is going. So that's it for today. I am signing off from the wonderful, beautiful Bali. I'm going to go head out and get myself some lunch. I hope you all are having a wonderful day and a wonderful life. And that's it for today. Catch you guys on the next episode.